Hey everybody, welcome to Hope Something Sticks. I'm Burt.
And I am Paul Atreides, Mohammed of the universe, foreseer of the future. Are you going to put in any of the Dune talk, or?
Besides this, no.
No. Alright. So that's not going to make any sense. And I'm Matt.
I've ridden the mighty moon.
I understand that joke now. I get it. That only took 15 years to settle up.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just some funny shit.
You have to read every single sci-fi book, watch every single sci-fi movie.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry for the laughter spikes. Good luck editing those out. I thought it was just some funny thing that Al Gore said. I'm like,
no.
He's riding a moonworm. Okay. I'm like, whatever. I just took it at face value and it was funny. Nope. Spoiler alert.
You know that. So, anyway, what we're actually talking about is episode 5 of Game of Thrones season 1. It's the Lion and the Wolf, or the Wolf and the Lion?
It's the Wolf and the Lion.
The Wolf and the Lion. So, yeah. It's a pretty good episode. I mean, every single episode in season 1 is pretty awesome.
Yeah, they all stand on their own.
Yep. But it's what I like the very opening scene of like the episode. it's like, oh man, Ned Stark's on the case.
Right.
He's just like looking around very inquisitively. It's like, this ain't adding up.
I don't know how to do this. He was trained for destruction, not etiquette, so
yeah,
he's not good at this shit. Chopping people's heads off, he's really good at that.
He's like the best.
Uncovering conspiracies and murder. He's not that great at that. But he's learning, he's going through the ropes, figuring it out. He's walking around with Barristan, who's also not very good with that. And who draws the straws, Barristan? I didn't think of that. Really?
Well, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Clearly. He doesn't even think past
like,
two questions. He doesn't go 2 questions into it. It's just like, well, Sir Hugh, bad draw, dude. Sorry. So you're dead.
I mean...
Well, who drew the straws there, Barristan?
I mean, I don't know, but who cares? He doesn't know about, like, any kind of bigger plot that's going on. I'm like, no one's keeping him in the know about anything.
Fair enough. He pretty
much just hangs out.
Yeah, he is just the head of the Secret Service. His job isn't to figure these things out. Although his job is, as the head of the Secret Service, to probably know something about these things.
I mean, people dying in a joust, it's not like the weirdest thing in the world. It's like, looks like Sir Hugh's dead, whatever. He wasn't the king, so I don't give a shit.
Case closed. It was the piece of wood in the open field where everyone was watching.
Yeah. But one thing Barristan is like the best at, and you see it throughout the entire series, is talking about the good old bad days.
This is true. This is what old people are best at. Thinking about anything other than right now.
So this is kind of a setup for the end of the episode, sort of. They're talking about fighting, they fought in the same war, but on, different sides. And Barristan's like, oh man, you were pretty fucking kick-ass. And then Ned's like, no, you're kick-ass.
Yeah, no, it's a complete bro-fest happening.
Kick-ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
So
yeah.
Yeah, then Barristan makes it not fun anymore when he like starts talking about his dead dad.
Right, yeah.
And then Ned's like, anyway.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about my dead dad and my brother getting barbecued in fucking court, man. Not cool. Not cool, dude. It's cool. It's cool. The episode goes back to super happy fun times with, fat ass King Robert. Anytime King Robert's in the room, it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, or else.
Oh yeah, drink. Your king commands it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself I'm gonna get a coffee mug that says that.
Like Ned took one drink, one sip out of the cup's like, well, I technically followed the order.
If I just smell it, is that good enough? Just kind of tongue it a little bit.
You took one drink.
Yeah, I tongued it a little bit. Drink it all. Keep up.
Trying to solve this mystery here.
This'll help. Scraping bow, you shits.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a good bit of him, just shitting on his squire.
Oh, God.
Lancel Lannister, that's his name.
Right.
Do you know your mother was a whore for stutter? That was an early episode. This one was
A whore with a fat ass.
There you go.
Without even blinking, it's just like the armor doesn't fit, sir. Your mother was a whore with a fat ass. Like, come on, Robert. I saw those hookers coming out of that room. You're an ass man. God.
Sure am.
Just to give anybody, I think we need to give some people some context, just to visualize Robert right now. Tunic, he's got a one button situation going on up at the collar, and the tunic isn't even stretched over his big fat ass gut.
I don't think it's at the collar. It's at the sternum. It's
sure.
Right above the stomach.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
yeah,
perfectly frames his fat fucking gut.
It cups his big fat man tits. I mean, this guy, he's sporting he's a solid B cup, maybe a C cup.
Let's not get crazy here.
Okay.
I think B cup.
Guaranteed, he hasn't seen his dick in years.
Mm-hmm. If he presses down on his stomach while lying down, probably make out.
They might have invented some kind of mirror. I'm sure they have very good artists who can stare at it for hours and then draw it for them.
With an extra inch.
Like, next, this is awful. You're a terrible artist. There's no way it looks like that. It's like, but sir, next.
Your mother was a whore with crossed eyes.
And that's it. That's the entire episode. It's just Robert just berating people, calling everyone's mother a whore. I think he's just projecting. He wants everyone's mother to be a whore. But we get a lot of killing in this episode.
Yeah,
the killing doesn't stop.
Before we get to that, one place where there isn't any killing after the initial killing, kind of finish up the jousting tournament.
You almost get some killing here. Oh no, you do.
So you have Sir Loras.
He's just not a human being.
True. So you have the Mountain versus Sir Loras of High Garden.
Oh yeah.
They're very different people, and Barristan says that Sir Loras probably had a horse that was in heat to go up against the Mountain, who they don't give a whole lot of context in the book. In the show that they have in the book, in the book, they say that the Mountain likes to use horses that are only half trained, so they're wild, and they're good for fighting, in a battle, they fucking kick around, and where it would actually be useful to have a half crazy horse.
Okay. a horse that would.
But he uses it for jousting, which isn't a good idea. You want a fully trained, very well trained horse to know exactly what the horse is gonna do, not one who's gonna like go, "Hey, baby, what are you doing tonight?"
Right. Yeah, he gets one whiff of the mare. He's like,
And he starts losing his shit.
Yep.
And then the mountain's like, "Fuck this, dude!" But I was kind of wondering, why the fuck did they get rid of this guy?
Oh, I was going to bring that up. This is Mountain version 1.
It's pretty good. Like having like that last dude, he was like really fucking awesome. Like, getting like the biggest, strongest man in the actual world was cool and all. But I mean, the first guy, he was good. He was definitely better than the second guy.
I think the second guy only had an appearance for. Were we talking season 2?
Yeah,
he only
see him like 2 or 3 times in season.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was the mountain.
Me neither.
Because he's tall, but he's not like big.
It took,
he's like kind of skinny.
It took 3 or 4 watchings for me to recognize. Yeah, it seemed like a completely unnecessary cast change. So that's the first killing. Mountain, horsey head chop.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he wants to go and kill Sir Loris. Sandor butts in, says, "Okay, what are you doing?" Then he almost chops off his brother's head. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Sir Robert, it's a really bang-bang type of play. Sir Robert stops the sword fight. Sir Sandor obeys. Mountain's like, "I'll obey after this one swing." a little kneel duck action, half duck. Very well choreographed. I liked it. I also liked how the king was just like, "All right, whenever he's storming off, just let him storm off." He tells everyone to let him go, and he didn't have to tell that crowd twice. That was great. Let him go.
Thank you.
Everyone is like, "Oh, hush, no problem."
He's gonna kill you all anyway.
Yeah, right. So that brings us to our second pile of killing, which is really, really special, and just a proper technique that was lost in the later seasons. Which is to say, they kill off a number of characters without establishing or even attempting to establish character development for them. I'm speaking, of course, on the next scene, because we shoot over to the Eastern Road with Catelyn, who has kidnapped Tyrion. And if we don't forget, Catelyn grabbed a bunch of other people to help her with this endeavor. The most important person is Bronn, who becomes a huge character, but there's also a bunch of other guys who have the potential to be new characters, who could be new people. I mean, they're knights or whatever. But the show's creators wisely kill all of them. Very wisely. They actually don't even kill. They don't kill the bard.
Yeah, they just fuck up his little lute.
Yeah, his lyre or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it looks like he's tuning it or something. Anyway.
Yeah, that was the first casualty of that battle. Is his instrument, like.
Right. Yeah. The hill people, fucking hill people, come out of the goddamn hills and just murder all these knights. It's a total stalemate, basically, with the only winners being Catelyn, Roderick, Bronn, and Tyrion. After Tyrion does some serious shield stabbing. And
Yeah.
You think they're gonna cut away from the point of that shield going into someone's face, but no, they give you a couple. They give you a couple hits.
Yeah.
A couple of hits off the face. Blood spurtage.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of demonstrates how Bronn is particularly kick-ass.
True.
And Tyrion isn't. He's not worthless in a fight.
Right. No, and he's also got some good lines. In this one scene,
Oh, yeah.
the scene's action-packed, and it's got good lines. He's like he just dismantles their entire argument in like 2 seconds, and they're like, gag him. He's like, why? Am I starting to make sense?
Yes. We're not about that.
Then the battle comes. Then Bron's like, you need a woman. Nothing like a woman after a fight. And then Tyrion's like, I'm willing if she is. That's a sex scene we're deprived of. Yeah, we're deprived of that sex scene.
Yeah.
We don't get that one.
It's too bad.
Catelyn at 50 plus and Tyrion at under 4 feet.
So that's kind of getting back to King's Landing. Varys is in this episode a lot, and in this episode, like rewatching it, there's a lot of what the fuck are you doing, Varys? Like, you seem to be fucking yourself over. Because they did exactly what they did in the book in the first season, but then they cut out a whole bunch of shit that was in later books that it didn't put into the other seasons. So, because remember, like, it's Varys' fault that Robert knows that Dany is alive, is married, and is about to have a baby. Like, he's the one who tells them, but he's supposedly the one who's trying to put her on the throne.
He's trying to put her on the throne. He's trying to kill her. I thought, no, he actually tried to kill her. Varys.
Yeah, he actually tried to kill her. But, you also have that scene with him and Illyrio talking about, putting the, I guess at least either Varys or Dany on the throne, having the Dothraki come and, fuck shit up.
I'm losing the thread here. Where are you going?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't make sense, right?
He does try to get. I don't know. It's even in that scene.
He sends that wine merchant.
Right. That happens.
In a later episode.
Right. I don't remember him.
And
I don't remember him saying. I don't remember him saying that he is actually gonna. He wants Daenerys on the throne, or Varys.
Well, that's
her brother.
Well, remember, like Arya saw him and Illyrio, walking and talking, right?
Right.
And he's talking about the eventual invasion of the Dothraki.
Oh yeah, here we go. Looking at my notes. I don't know if that's a solid plan though, because Varys and Illyrio aren't even in agreement.
Well, they're in agreement. Well, they're not in agreement is what's happening in Westeros. Like, Illyrio is like, it's too soon. We can't have, all the different families fighting each other quite yet. It might resolve itself before we have the chance to attack. And Varys is kind of like, well, too bad. This is what's happening.
Okay.
But in the book, Dany and Viserys aren't Varys' plan A, actually. They're kind of like the diversion plan of the Targaryens coming back, because you have, in the books, you have Rhaegar's son is still alive. Like, it's established that apparently Varys took Rhaegar's son, Aegon. He named his son Aegon, and he took him away with one of Rhaegar's best friends, who was this lord of. He was like this lord in the Stormlands, and they were really good. They were really good friends, and him and a few other people kind of took the baby into Essos to protect them and train him to be a prince, as he grew up, with, hanging out with Illyrio and whatever. And they're actually about to come and take the Golden Company, the Golden Company is, there's like so much backstory that
they're mercenaries.
The show doesn't get into. So, but the Golden Company is these mercenaries out in Essos. They're actually originally Westerosi, who were basically ran off because they supported the Blackfires, which were like trying to ascend the throne from the Targaryens, like 100 years ago.
Oh shit!
Like a few hundred years ago. And the Blackfires are basically an offshoot of the Targaryens. Like it was built by these bastard children of this one Targaryen king who legitimized them on their deathbed and then created this huge war.
Nice.
Of like who's going to be the actual king? Like his first son who is legitimate, or this really kick-ass warrior guy who's also his son who he just legitimized and like gave like the family ancestral sword. And so there's a whole big civil war for a while. So they eventually lost, and they went to Essos and kind of built the Golden Company from that. And so you have a lot of Westerosi descendants in the Golden Company who like, let's follow this guy and get our lands back. And so that's kind of like the primary plan of Varys and Illyrio. And they kind of just had Dany and Viserys there to kind of just be a smokescreen for the actual real Targaryen invasion.
This makes a whole lot more sense than just, let's bring Daenerys over. It's like she's a little girl who's about to have a kid by some dude that they're not going to be able to control.
And Varys is a dickhead.
And we're not. No, you mean Viserys. I keep mixing them up.
Viserys is a dickhead, yeah.
Blondie, not Boldy.
Right.
I don't think that's going to make it any better. Yeah.
Yes, Viserys is a dickhead.
Gotcha.
So they were like training up Aegon to be like the perfect, prince / king. Like, he's like very knowledgeable, in the Faith of the Seven, in just the general politics. He's he's learned in a lot of other ways. He plays chess. He's skilled at arms. Like they train him to be good at everything, and he's like not a total asshole.
Not a total asshole.
So
they
pull basically. That off? Well, I mean, he didn't grow up like as a prince. Like he was raised by a knight, and basically they raised him to like make sure like this guy's not going to end up being a total fucking asshole. Like the last Targaryen king. Like they're very like meticulous about how they raised him, and they did a pretty good job. The kid's not a total asshole.
Showed him pictures of his sisters and cousins. Bonk on the head. Got it. Alright, so Arya heard all this, and she relayed maybe one of them was fat to her dad.
Yeah, to Ned.
Yeah, that's all she was able to get. I mean, it's a lot of info. It's a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail.
Yeah, it kind of does nothing with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still on the case. He's got to figure out this whole bastard book situation. And then he gets, the even bigger news that he can actually work on, which is, oh shit, my wife just kidnapped somebody.
Fairly important somebody.
Yeah, Tyrion. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Of course, did we jump ahead in the episode there? Did we want to talk about Lord John Arryn's widow, Lysa? She's touched.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we can talk about her.
When's the last time you talked to
Like,
her?
go back and whatever.
She's crazy.
Yeah, and Catelyn kind of conveys that pretty well for her facial expressions. Like when they first see her, it's like, this might have been a bad
Oh,
idea.
dear.
I am immediately regretting this decision.
Yeah, I think that seeing her 8-year-old nephew still sucking on the teat might, like, oh, God, where am I? Who is this person? Hello, sister. What up, skank? You getting that pussy pounded? I don't know how their family talks. I don't know. I say that to my brother all the time.
Clearly not long enough. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Alright, so we're weirder than the fucking... than cat...
Tullys.
Than the Tullys.
They are a fairly unweird family, all in all. Like, Lysa's pretty crazy, but in general, they're pretty chill.
I'm not sure where that scene ended. Does he end up in the... He ends up in the Sky Cell, right?
Yeah. And
Gets introduced to Maud.
It's actually even scarier in the book than in the show. Like, it's pretty much the same thing, except, like, Tyrion talks about, there's this little decline off the fucking ledge. So you can't really go to sleep without worrying about rolling off and dying.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation, classic torture.
Mm-hmm. But you could sleep if you wanted to.
I mean, perpendicular.
Yeah.
Leaning up against something. I don't know. At least you got a nice view.
I think in the next episode he is like right there by the edge, like sleeping. He's like, oh fuck.
His conversations with Maud are pretty good in the later episodes.
Yeah.
It's an abstract concept. Maud's not the smartest tool in the shed. He's a very simple man, does not understand the word abstract. In fact, hearing it angers him. We'll get to him later. I think we have to shoot back to King's Landing.
Yeah. So in the... It's weird because, like, just kind of go, like, Varys in particular is, like, the character that I feel loses a lot in the later seasons because they don't put in, like, all this extra content that's in the book. So they take what he, like, presents himself to be, which is, like, you know, oh, I'm worried about the realm, and, you know, I'm a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing nefarious here.
Right.
He, like, puts on that show, but then he becomes that person, like, in the later season because there's nothing else for him to do because his actual plan doesn't exist in the show like it does in the book. But you can kind of see, like, the seeds of it, you know, like when he's talking to Valerio, like, he's not really trying to help Ned so much as just trying to get him to fight a war with the Lannisters.
Yeah, everything's a means to an end with that guy. And he thinks he's doing it right, like, but he's not really. All he's doing is just speeding along the inevitable. He's not really delaying anything. Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, think of if it's really because of Varys and Littlefinger that this whole thing happened at all. Like, you know. So, first of all, you know, Littlefinger's the one who tells Lysa to kill Jon Arryn.
Oh, yeah.
She poisons him.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're using Sir Hugh.
Season 4 spoilers.
Yeah, well,
I think.
We've been talking spoilers since the beginning of this, you know, talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Jumping around is part of the fun.
I think we already mentioned that. So there's actual killing, and, like, the Starks wouldn't have figured it out if it wasn't for Varys and Littlefinger kind of pushing them along, like, basically leading them on a trail of breadcrumbs. a fake trail where it comes to the Lannisters. Like, you think about it, Robert wasn't in any real danger, but until Ned started like sniffing around.
Well, wouldn't they have? They were probably going to push him out anyway if they weren't just going to wait. This just exacerbated it happening sooner. Because who ends up killing him? The Lannisters. Lancel fucking gives him some extra booze. You know what? Did they even establish that it was super booze or drugged booze?
I don't know. They did in the book. It was like it was fortified. I think they do later on, like when like Tyrion is like interrogating Lancel. Maybe. I don't know if I'm confusing that.
I don't think so.
In the book, it is established
because even
that
okay,
it was much stronger wine than usual.
Okay, and it's, you know what? I don't think Robert gave a shit. Even in the beginning of this episode here, Robert's done. He's checked out. He's ready to go. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about any of this crap.
Like there's a war because of the machinations of Varys and Littlefinger for different reasons. Like Littlefinger just kind of wants to get rid of Ned so he could have another go at
right.
At his wife.
This is a very complex way of going about that, by the way.
Yeah.
He could have just, like, you know, moved up north and been closer to her, and then Ned when he wasn't looking. No, he's got to go to King's Landing and overthrow the government. The little thing. Now who's crazy? Oh man. I guess that would have been too obvious. They would have seen it. Ned would have seen it coming. Like, oh, here comes Littlefinger.
I guess.
It's like, put on a girl with a beard. Use an accent.
He already has a beard.
He's got a little tidy beard, like a little evil beard. I'm talking a full northern beard. You know what I'm talking about. Up north, they look at that and they go, Pasha! That's not a beard! I'll kill you because it's not a beard. Some shit like that.
I'll kill you with my beard.
Yeah, right? Choke on this. Now give me this. And then instead of killing him, they just shave him. Make him go through the entire winter without any body hair whatsoever. It's a common punishment up in Winterfell. Poor Littlefinger. 40-year case of blue balls. Which makes no sense considering he's got so many hookers.
King of the hookers.
I mean, this guy he's pimping all over the world. To put it in. Who did that song? Was that Ludacris? I'm pimping all over the world. No, it doesn't go like that.
Anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to say it is like Varys. Well, he puts on like a veneer of trying to, you know, help the good people in the show and, you know, work towards the betterment of the realm. He's really just playing Ned. Or he's supposed to just be playing Ned until they decide to cut off like a whole bunch of content later on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Then he actually was just
interesting.
This super awesome guy with no balls.
And they had been so close.
Yes. That was pretty great.
That is an outstanding scene whenever Varys is with Littlefinger. They have their own little... They don't fight with swords or anything like that. Just subtle threats this way and that. Like, if you say this, I'm going to tell the queen that you helped the Starks. Well, you say that, I'm going to say you were escorting a foreign dignitary, you foreigner. You're a foreigner! I'm going to tell the king. I'm gonna tell the queen on you. I'm like, oh, I guess we're at mutually assured destruction, aren't we? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it you want again? To bang Catelyn Stark. Oh.
Wow, really? That's it?
That's it? I can buy
Yes.
that for you tomorrow. Like, don't you have a bunch of hookers that might look like Catelyn Stark? Like, isn't that good enough?
Yeah, why don't you just put like a red wig on one of them?
Yeah, no, red wig. Make it dark. It's not like we have lights around here.
Just bang Lysa again and close your eyes.
Yeah, right. Ugh, she keeps screaming.
Yeah.
So then we get back to Robert drinking some more after Ned refuses to sign off on the Targaryen assassination attempt.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ned's all against killing Dany, which is kind of dumb. If you're just gonna kill Dany, like you have to. If you're gonna do that, you kind of have to kill Drogo and Viserys to make sure that the invasion doesn't happen.
They do say that they want
Like-
Viserys dead as well, but they do not mention killing Drogo at all.
Yeah, and you don't think that he might be kind of like supremely pissed off about his wife getting murdered? I mean, that's exactly what happens. Like, she almost gets killed, and then Drogo finds out about it, and that's what like puts him over the edge. Like, okay, I wasn't on board with this whole invading Westeros thing, but now, fuck it, those assholes are dead.
I will go across the poison sea. I will tear down their stone with them inside of it.
And I will give my son a metal chair.
I metal chair, metal chair, metal chair, metal chair. Dothraki are really dumb. They don't care. What? Excuse, murder, 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 murder. They're all about their murder and rape. That's really it.
That is their thing.
Wait, what's the excuse this time? Apparently we're gonna go on the poison sea and steal a metal chair. Sorry, I stopped listening at "we're doing it."
It's like, are we going to rape and pillage? You fucking know it.
If that
man.
wasn't a part of this, I think we have to. Otherwise, we will not be able to do more raping and more pillaging. It's a very vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Well, got
All right, guys. Got our plan. Windmill high fives all
Oh
around.
yeah.
Anyway.
Spoilers for next episode.
Yeah, really.
We'll go into
Talking
that.
way too much about the next
Yeah, no,
episode.
that's entirely the next episode, really. We don't know how we got there. Well, actually, we do know exactly why we got there. You can cut that part out. Whatever. We can save it for next time.
Yeah.
So Ned doesn't like it. Robert's yelling at him as he's walking out, dropping the mic.
Yeah.
I'll have your head on a spike.
Still has enough respect to not call Ned's mother a whore, which is kind of his
I
go-to.
can't believe he didn't say that. Well, if his mother was a whore, then the love of his life, Lyanna, would be a bastard. He can't be in love with a bastard. He doesn't even remember what she looks like. I think that's what he's most sad about.
That's a good.
Doesn't even remember it.
That's a good transition too. A really good scene between Robert and Cersei, which isn't in the book at all, but is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Truly.
And they just kind of first they talk about the Dothraki, and she's like, it's like, I'm not worried. It's a bunch of fucking savages. We got more people, so we would win. And he's like, don't know about that. They're kind of better than us. They all have horses, which is a significant advantage.
Yes.
And they all follow one leader, as opposed to all these armies following different lords who can, it's like, I don't feel like fighting this battle. Bye.
Right. I'm gonna be in my
Have
stone
fun being
house.
dead.
Yeah. Which is the greater number, 5 or 1?
Yeah. They had 5 fingers in an open hand and then 1 closed fist. Good point. Like, you'd probably, you'd have, the Lannisters and the the phrase like, "Oh no, yeah, no, we're totally coming. We just gotta
Tidy up.
pack our lunches."
Gotta make sure
it's
we're
like
ready.
a whole process.
Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And like we said, the Dothraki, one army, one purpose. Well, it's really two purposes, right? Murder and rape.
Yeah. They really go hand in hand, though.
Yeah, whatever. We can talk about the 2-1 dichotomy later. But yeah, it's the only thing keeping the whole kingdoms together. Robert's and Cersei's marriage.
Yeah. Well, and Robert's marriage to Ned, which Cersei made a nice little snide remark about. It's like, I'm so sorry your marriage with Ned Stark didn't work out.
Shit.
Another good thing here.
Yeah, that's good stuff. This is the only person that Robert doesn't have to tell to drink.
Yep. She's all about it.
Yep. She knows what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's
also, you kind of see how Robert really kind of fucked himself by being the worst husband ever.
Right. You know, he's looking at this hot bitch, and he can't get over the dead one in his brain. She's dead, man. She's gone. She's not coming back. You're not doing anybody any service, least of all the people relying on you. By not banging this hot chick right in front of you. What's your problem? How about you try?
And
sounds like he didn't even try. Did he try at all in the books?
He did not try at all. Actually, it's shown in the books how he completely did not try at all, and how that totally fucked him up, because Cersei was actually telling the truth in that scene. Like, it was the same in the books. Like, Cersei was like kind of pretty on board with marrying Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when he became king, it's like, oh, you know, he's handsome. Like, you know, he actually was. Like, in the book, he's like, you know, he's tall, handsome, he's not fat, he's clean shaven, like, he's a good looking guy. And it's like, well, you know, he's king, he's a handsome guy, I can roll with it. She, you know, just all ready to, like, ditch Jaime. It's like, alright, I guess I'll stop banging my brother.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, she was going to make an actual effort in it. Of not banging her brother and, you know, making this marriage work. So, like, she wasn't like, you know, this is bullshit. And, you know, during the wedding, Robert was, you know, relatively nice. And then, like, on the wedding night, like, he got, like, super drunk and he couldn't stop saying Lyanna's name as they were going at it.
Mm-hmm.
And she got super pissed off about that. And, yeah, basically he's just pining for Lyanna this entire time, and also just being a drunk asshole. And, like, yeah, then that basically had her going back to Jaime afterwards, and kind of having these children of unspeakable sin that we have.
Right.
So, a lot of, yeah, so you kind of see, like, the whole reason why everything happens, like, in the story of Game of Thrones is a whole lot of people being miserable assholes.
I wonder why
Like, it's like a perfect storm of assholes.
Truly, yes. Get enough people together.
So, yeah. And it's also, like, you don't see this in the show, but I think, like, in sort of like, it's actually in the first book. Like, Ned thinks about Lyanna and Rhaegar a lot, like, in the first book. Like, when he's at King's Landing. And one of the things he remembers about Lyanna is Lyanna actually not being super thrilled about marrying Robert.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so a lot of this was just, like, in Robert's head, and I think he, like, the love he shows Lyanna, like it wouldn't have been that nearly that much if she was like alive. It's just the fact that he was supposed to have her, but he didn't. Like it's kind of like he can't handle that.
Holy
like
shit!
Something being taken away from him.
Damn.
Like that's the real reason of his pining. It's not the actual person. It's not like he knew her like super well.
Man.
And he was like banging like a whole bunch of chicks on the side anyway, even before like they were proposed to be married. You know, he actually had a daughter before they were supposed to get married. And that's like one of the things, like Lyanna's like, he's not gonna be faithful to me. He's gonna be kind of an asshole. Like he's nice and everything, but he can't keep his dick in his pants.
No shit. Wow. That just ruined that character for me. Nice job.
Well,
thanks.
Robert?
Yeah, I didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
No shit.
Like he never admits that to himself, but like it's kind of like obvious, like in the book, like what he loves was the idea of Lyanna, and the reason why he's so passionate about it is because she was taken away from him.
No shit. All right. Well, kind of sounds like you deserved that boar to the gut. And a lot sooner.
He's that guy that's really fun to hang out with, but he like keeps fucking up
Yeah,
in
really.
other aspects of his life outside of just general friendship. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's great, and he totally fucked up his life.
Man.
He keeps doing it.
If he wasn't king, he would have been dead a long time ago.
Well, he would still be the lord of a pretty major area, so he probably would have been better off not having like that amount of responsibility, but he would effectively still be able to do whatever he wants, inside of the Stormlands. You just have to deal with who the hell the king was, which it would eventually be Rhaegar, which I'm sure he would have been supremely pissed off about, like considering him and Lyanna ran off together.
Right.
And that's the other thing, Robert has it in his head that Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna and raped her and, did, unspeakable things to her. And, Ned's, just thinking of Rhaegar. It's like, no, Rhaegar's actually kind of cool.
Oh, man.
He basically has to stay his tongue that Rhaegar, when Robert called Rhaegar a total piece of shit, Ned doesn't think of Rhaegar as a total piece of shit.
So was it just the fact that Ned grew up with Robert? That's why they went to war together? Why did Ned side with Robert?
I mean, he sided with Robert after his father and brother were murdered by the king.
Oh, that's true.
That'll kind of do it too.
That's true. And then I guess, but did he know that Lyanna wasn't kidnapped?
I don't think. No,
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew that at all.
He didn't. No, he didn't know that until he saw her again, right before she died.
Right, because then she revealed
when he's picking up John.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's I think when he really found out. I guess he just kind of assumed that he kidnapped her. Robert was saying it enough.
Gotcha.
And I guess that's the kind of general consensus of everyone. He kind of went along with it until he actually saw her again. It's like, oh, okay, well, this was unfortunate.
Yeah, right. I've made a terrible mistake.
Kind of. That guy still kind of had to go.
Fair enough. Yeah, means to an end.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the war was over by the time he saw Lyanna again. They already took King's Landing by then.
I mean, how much longer did the Mad King have? He was already old.
Yeah, he was pretty
old. How long until
Rhaegar
was going to take over?
Well, there was kind of an idea that Rhaegar was planning on taking over, and his the initial plans of that were gonna happen like at the tournament where Rhaegar won, because there was like a lot of high lords there, and actually the reason why Aerys went, and Aerys didn't go to like anything at this point, but he went because he thought Rhaegar might have been like planning something to overthrow him, so that's why he went to the tournament, and and maybe it was Rhaegar was going there to kind of talk with the High Lords about maybe deposing his dad because he turned into such a fucking psycho. But not completely known, just kind of conjecture by certain characters.
What a world Westeros could have been. Nope. Instead, everybody had to get set on fire.
Yeah, tends to piss people off.
Egged on by our next development, which is Littlefinger leading Ned to, hey, keep looking for these people. Keep doing it. Take a look at this.
It's not like he totally told the Lannisters where he was.
Right.
Even made like a little show of it. Oh, what are you doing here?
Oh no.
Get back inside.
Oh no. Let me go call the cops.
Yeah, you call the cops. This is a pretty great scene. The fight between Jaime and Ned.
It better be great. It's the only one you get.
Yeah,
between either of these guys. Between them and anybody else. That's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest letdowns. Is Jaime Lannister? All you hear about is all the hype, and you never see this dude kick anybody's ass.
Except Jory.
He does kill Jory. Kind of dishonorably.
Yeah, it's pretty dirty, but it was also pretty awesome. Just gets him in a lock and then like pulls out a dagger. Ha!
Like, wow. Okay, this is why you're good? It's because you just been daggering people in the eyeball, dude? Come on.
Yeah, the only other fight he has was when he's like chained up fighting Brienne.
Right. That's it.
And that's it.
8 seasons. You get 2 fights.
Well, I mean, like by the what's that? Is it the when did he get his hand chopped off?
That's like season 3.
Yeah, I think it is season. Is it season 3? I guess so.
I think so.
I think.
Yeah, because by season 4 he's back in King's Landing. Or season 5, I think he's back in King's Landing. He's got his golden hand.
So.
And he tries to train.
Yeah, there's season 4.
Tries to train with Bronn, but
yeah, I guess it's season 3. Yeah, I mean he was never able to get back to where it was.
Yeah, and nothing even happens.
I mean, you wouldn't expect him to because he got his fucking hand chopped off. But yeah, but that was pretty good acting from Nicola Costa-Waldau. I think his name is.
Hey, nice job.
The guy who plays Jaime.
Right.
In the fight, it also is a good callback to the very first episode when Ned and Jaime are talking, and Jaime's asked like, "Oh, why do you never enter any tournaments?" Like, I don't fight any tournaments because when I fight someone for real, I don't want them to know what I can do.
Anytime somebody says something smart, Jaime seems to get really pissed. His smile goes away instantaneously when he says that.
No, I think he said like, "Oh, well said." He gives like this big smile. I don't think Jaime believed that he was any good. He probably just like, "Oh yeah, that's cute. Whatever. I'm sure you suck." and like you kind of see this range of emotions from Jamie when he's actually fighting Ned. Like, okay, he's fighting him, and he's got this smirk on his face, and then he goes, "Whoa!" Like, "Wow, you're actually pretty good." And then they fight some more, and then he stops smiling. He's like, "Oh shit, this guy's pretty good."
Maybe that's what maybe that's why that guy stabbed Ned in the leg. He's like, oh shit, he's gonna kill Jamie.
He's not. Oh shit, Jamie's not smiling anymore.
Okay, right. Cold blow.
You can't let Jamie know that he sucks.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, shit. Here's my face, sir. Punch me like you're angry. Punch me like you're angry. Punch me like you're angry.
Oh, you got me so good.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
I'm defeated.
Yield.
That was such a good punch to the helmet.
My brain is rattled. You certainly showed me my place.
Yep. Yep. So, but Ned took credit for kidnapping Tyrion, I guess, to, exonerate his wife to a certain extent. And, and he gets a big spear in the leg. And his adventuring days are over.
Mm-hmm. He could still be doing it. Could still be adventuring.
Yep, he could have just left with Robert in the second episode.
Mm-mm-mm.
I wonder if that's what he was thinking as he was, like, passing out. Should have just left with Robert.
Hit the high road.
Definitely would have sucked less than this.
Truly, yeah.
Jory's brain would have been intact.
I'm sure he was going to get stabbed in the eye at some point. Just wouldn't have been his fault.
Yeah. It was interesting, like, the one guy that Jamie killed was the one guy, like, outside of Cersei he had the best relationship with.
Yeah, he almost had a friend.
Yep, and then he stabbed him in the eye.
You're too close, man. You're too close.
Bleep!
Alright, well, that episode's a wrap. Oh, sorry. You have some more?
Well, I was just going to say, like, that also shows, like, how little Jamie gives a shit about killing people. Like, he actually did have a conversation with this guy, and he knew that he fought alongside him in another war. Stab. Don't give a shit.
Truly. Yeah, no. Nothing matters. He believes in nothing.
Cold motherfucker.
Well, he believes in one thing.
Yep. Banging his sister.
That's probably why he hit that captain of the guard. He's like, oh my god, I'm so angry right now I could bang my sister. Punch.
What?
I yield, I guess?
Did he say something about banging his sister?
Don't talk about that. Code blonde. Code blonde.
God. I wasn't paid so well.
You get paid? What the hell? I'm trying to get my dad out of prison.
Yeah, well, that just about wraps it up.
Oh yeah, it's a huge cliffhanger. Ned gets arrested. Coming up on that other future episode.
He actually doesn't get arrested. Like they just leave. It's like Jamie was like, "Oh, well now I can't arrest him."
That's right. They just leave him in the road.
He just leaves him. Yeah, so
there's some major plot holes in this show. I just showed up to teach you a lesson. I think.
It's like I don't let it arrest him anymore.
Eliminate these extra characters.
Oh God.
They saw some
They
breasts.
had those throwing spears all ready to go.
Be done. Mm-hmm.
And then gets all pissy because it's like, no, I was supposed to stab him. Fuck it, let's just get out of here.
Now I look totally.
I don't even
Now
want to
I look
anymore.
ridiculous.
Really? It didn't look ridiculous in that little outfit of yours? Shut up!
I'm not the one wearing a dress. Jeez.
Your nice 80s popped up collar.
Still a good episode. I like it.
Oh no, it's great. Yeah, no, my main gripes with the episode is what it doesn't. There's like a whole bunch of hanging stuff that they just don't get to later because they basically just drop a whole bunch of plots down the road. So it's just not this episode's fault.
Well, we'll try to tie them up as best we can, but... And they certainly tried to.
Did they?
I wouldn't call that their...
I would really want to speed through.
If this episode was their best, and this episode was written, I'm looking it up here, was written by the creators, creators, okay, they're the executive producers, Benioff and Weiss.
Yeah.
So they made this
D&D,
episode. So if they can make this episode, then the way they wrapped up this entire show is definitely not their best.
No.
I'm not sure what happened to them. I'm not sure why they didn't like it anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. I'm tired.
It's like, I don't know.
Also, they didn't have any more book to kind of lean on.
So why didn't they just wait? Why'd you have to...
I mean, all the kids would be like 30.
So dude, they changed the mountain, 4 times? 5 times? So just change the characters. Who cares? Give it to a different actor. Give somebody else a chance, Everybody's obsessed with keeping the same actors, or putting in people they want. Like, you motherfuckers aren't the casters. You're not the directors. They should treat it like how SNL treated Joe Biden during the campaign. They just went with somebody different every time, and it was fucking hilarious. It was great.
Yeah, they had the original dude do it, like I think in the beginning, and then they had Woody Harrelson.
Sure, yeah.
And then they had Jim Carrey.
They had Jason Sudeikis, I think.
Yeah, that was the first guy. That's the guy who usually does Biden.
Yeah.
He did him like in. Well, he did him like in the vice presidential debate cold opens with Palin, and then again with what's his face.
Sure, yeah. Just go with somebody different every time.
Paul Ryan. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like him the best of them.
So, yeah. Whatever. Maybe the future will hold someone trying to revamp the show and just ignore the last season. 100%.
Maybe.
I'd be down for that. Hopefully done by any other company. Hopefully HBO just keeps it. They don't try to sell it to fucking Disney or some damn shit.
I don't think Disney would buy it.
It would cost them quite a bit of money.
It would, but also it's really not on brand for Disney. It's just too many titties.
Disney is nothing but pre-porn, alright?
Yeah, but it's like implied. It's not.
It's just implied. You have to say it like this. Yeah, I get you. It's fucked up.
Yeah. That's why you have to wear the purity ring.
Yep.
Otherwise, Disney looks bad.
Uh-huh.
Now get back out there and make me some motherfucking money.
You're gonna have to do a whole episode in that voice, you know that, right? See how long you can go if you can keep it going.
I've been practicing like a lot over the years.
Yes, it's pitch perfect. It's good. I don't even want to attempt it in light of. I'm comparing it in my brain, and I don't think it's going to be even close.
Well, maybe we can do that episode of South Park, and I'll do the Mickey Mouse voice.
All right.
There should be some reason why I'm doing it.
Nah, you can just drop it in there. It's all good. We'll try to wrap it in. It'll make sense. I'm not just gonna I'm not just gonna start the episode and be like, Burt, do the thing. Do it! Dance, monkey! Dance for our eight listeners.
Oh, I thought Jamie banged his sister. Oh.
I might be the only person in the world who's probably thinking that's funny.
Alright. I think that's about it. You can write us in at hope76@gmail.com, and yeah. Good episode.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Alright, everybody. Till next time.